From April 24th, 2020 to now, I have been working on building a stock portfolio that was going to hopefully fuel my retirement in the future. In today's video, I did want to give a New Year's update on my portfolio. I felt like it would be a good idea to just start the new year off, give it an update on where all my investments have gone, what all they have done, have I had some winners, have I had some losers, to really set the base and set the grounds for this year. Hopefully to be able to come back maybe a year from now just to be able to see all of the growth and all of the changes that were made in 365 days. My name is Halion, and in today's video, we will be going over my entire stock investment portfolio. I'm currently sitting right under $24,000. As you guys do know, I'm only 19 years old, and so whenever I do make these videos, when I talk about my portfolio and everything, this is in no way me bragging. That's one thing that I always want to make clear. This is simply me just informing you guys on what exactly I've done, what changes I've made. If I could hopefully maybe entertain you guys, give value to you guys, if the psychology behind why I made some of these investments helps you guys, that is it. This is fully educational, and this is not me in any way wanting to brag. I hope you guys do enjoy today's video. If you do, you can let me know by smashing that like button. It really does help. It helps me spread my content out. The YouTube algorithm does favor a little bit of activity on a page, and so hopefully we can get that, this video spread out to as many people as possible and keep growing the channel. Another way you can help me grow the channel is if you are new to the channel, you can let me know by subscribing. I absolutely appreciate every single one of you who subscribes to the channel, and I welcome everyone. And if you do have any comments about this video, any feedback, any criticisms, anything you want me to make a video about going on into the future here, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I always reply there, and I will always read and take every one of those comments personal. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump straight into my portfolio. So here we are on my Robinhood portfolio. As you can see, I have about $23,817 invested, and our portfolio is sitting currently at $6,531 in profit, or 37.78%. Now, $250 of that is buying power, so I guess you could subtract the buying power, but the buying power is basically just money that I have on hand and ready. So if a stock that I like, or maybe if there's a buying opportunity that does come around, I will have money already in my portfolio so that I can then purchase that stock at hopefully a better price. Now, if I go ahead and I scroll down, we can see that I'm currently sitting on 5 different investments. I have Store Capital, Apple, CocaCola, Halion, and Bingo. So what I did is I went up and I pulled up the equity that I have in every single one just so you can see how it's all divided. And I'm sure off rip you can notice how badly weighted this portfolio is. Store Capital is a company that I am absolutely in love with. I've made multiple videos about it on this channel. If you would like to check them out, I will link them down below. But as you can see, I have a little under $12,000 invested in the Store Capital, $7,349 invested in the Apple, $4,075 invested in the Coca-Cola, $254 invested in the Halion, and $35 invested in the Bingo. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to jump into each one of these stocks. I'll talk about my cost basis, I'll go over maybe some dividends, and I'll talk about every single thing that is going on with this stock and this portfolio holding in my portfolio. So let's go ahead, let's jump first into Store Capital. Now, Store Capital has had a pretty crazy year. As you can see, it did have a really rough ride whenever the pandemic all started. It tanked very, very significantly, and it is still working on recovering those lost grounds. The good thing about it is they are moving fairly nice. The dividend is amazing, and it is an overall company that I would recommend to anyone. Now, if we do go ahead here and see, I do have a store dividend coming in on January 15th of $125, which I am very ecstatic about. That must have just been announced today because I didn't see that until now, so I'm kind of giddy. But so that'll be nice. That'll definitely use that to reinvest, hopefully pick up maybe 3 or 4 more shares, maybe 5 potentially if this thing does go down a little bit. And so with that, with that being said, I will make sure to let you guys know what I do whenever that store dividend does come in. But as we can see here, I have 349 shares. My average cost is sitting at $21.64. Now, as you can see, the store price has gone up to almost $34. So that has led to a pretty significant gain of about $4,305, or 57%. Now, this is by far the best investment that I have ever made. I really can't even think of one that's come close to even seeing this high of percentages. Now, whenever I do go into this one, this is a company that I am still adding on to. I'm still building this up because even though they're getting very close to reaching that 52-week high, they're getting relatively close at least. I think that this is a company who is going to continue to see massive growth. We can see last year was an amazing year for them. They started to really take off. So whenever you mix in that high growth plus a dividend of sitting right at 4.17, it is a must buy for me personally. So this is a company I'd like to see having $20,000, $30,000 invested into, maybe by the end of this year, maybe by the middle of next year. So definitely keep an eye on that, and we will see how I do grow this one out over time. Now, as you guys can see, this takes up 50.32% of my portfolio. Now, I know a lot of people do tend to get on my neck for this one. Just understand that this is a company it's grown so much. I invested about the same amount in this company as I have in Apple, but this one just took off and it grew $4,000. So it really just put it way above all my other investments. It wasn't intentional that it grew this much, but honestly, I'm not all that worried about it. This is the company I have ultimate faith in. I could not check this company for 3 years, and I truly believe that it would still be doing amazing things without me having to even look. Next up on the list, we have Apple, one of my absolute favorite companies on earth. Apple, I have 55.3 shares at an average cost of $111.37. That leads me to a market value of about $7,341, which takes up around 31% of my portfolio. So again, this is about the same amount that I invested in the Store Capital, but the only thing about it is Apple just hasn't taken off from my average cost like it did with Store Capital, of course. Now, whenever we do look at our returns, I have made back about $1,180, which totals out to 19.16%. So that has been a fantastic investment. I think I bought a majority of this one right before the split. So I would say that over the course of about 2 or 3 months, the fact that we've seen growth of over 20% is absolutely phenomenal. That is not normal in any way. And so that is something that I am very grateful for, to be able to see this growth. As we go up here, we can see that it has been a bumpy ride, but a very, a very consistent rise to the top. This is a company that does not go down often. And whenever it does go down, I always see that as buying opportunities. The majority of the time that I have bought these 55 shares has been within these dips here. Whenever I do see it start to fall, I usually don't catch the bottom just perfectly, but I will catch it somewhere around here or maybe around this area as well. I do like to find this, I keep $250 on hand. If I do see this stock start to go down, I might pick up another share or two, simply if it does dip, just like it did, recently. If we go ahead and we look at the week, it's fallen about 1%. I did buy another share of this yesterday, and that's something that I plan on continuing to do for the next decades to come. Apple is a company I have ultimate faith in as well. I don't believe they're going anywhere. I think they're just getting started, and I do plan on growing this holding in my portfolio to be hopefully maybe even 6 figures one day. Next up on the list, we have my anchor, is what I call it. It is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is one of my absolute favorite companies as well. I have 74 shares of them sitting at an average cost of $48.29. As we can see, Coca-Cola has grown up to right under $55. So that leads me to a market value of $4,075, which takes up a good 17.29% of my portfolio. Now, whenever it comes to returns, I have made a $494 return on Coca-Cola, which equals out to about 13.80%. So I really do like this company. The dividend is nice, sitting right around 3. I really just feel like this is one of those companies that you just need in your portfolio. Now, this is not me going to tell you to buy it. I'm not a financial advisor. But personally, whenever I do design portfolios or whenever I do want to create portfolios for myself, Coca-Cola is always one of those that I feel like is just always going to be there. It's one of the safest companies in my opinion. And I feel like they've established themselves as one of the top companies in the world that is just has no close competition that will put them out of business. As we can see, it was a pretty rough ride from about November to mid to end of December. We saw it just kind of stagnant. We saw it going sideways, trading sideways for about a month and a half. That was a time that I used to pick up a lot of shares whenever I would see it fall about 1% to 2%. So I did grow this position about 25 shares over the last couple months. And I will say that I am absolutely ecstatic with this position. I'd like to see it see 100 shares. I actually did see 100 shares, but I had to have surgery a few months ago. I had to make some financial decisions, and I decided that I was going to sell out on 25 shares of those to help pay for my surgery and make sure that I was keeping my emergency fund in check. This was a surgery that I was not expecting at all. And so, it does suck to have to see the position drop a little bit, but I do believe that I will grow it back up to 100 shares, hopefully in the next couple months here, and we will see these dividends start to come in very, very soon. Next up on the list, we have my baby Halion. Now, you guys know how I feel about Halion. I always used to make videos about Halion. I made videos about Halion for at least a month and a half straight. I really do love this company. I love their concepts. I love their management. I love almost every single thing about them. Now, of course, every company has its flaws, and I think there are some things that need to be worked on. But going into the future here, I truly have faith that Halion is going to make the right decisions that will lead them to success. Now, whenever it comes to Halion, I have about 15.6 shares at an average cost of $21.07. My market value in this company is $254, which leads to a portfolio diversity of 1.08%. My total return on this company is the only negative company that I have in the portfolio at negative $74. Now, the reason that I am still holding onto this company is actually talked about in a video I made about 4 videos ago. Definitely go check that out if you are interested in them. I am not selling this company. I am not getting out. I feel like my position is big enough for me to want to check up on it, but it's not so big like one of my Apples or stores that I'm so concerned. Now, the thing about about that is, though, that whenever we do see the shorting start to slow down a bit, once we really start to see this thing bottom out, I plan on going top heavy with it. I really do plan on putting this thing up maybe like $2,000 or $3,000. But honestly, at this point, there's really no point in me going in until we can really see what the stock price wants to settle at. Once we see it settle down a little bit, it is starting to slow. So once we see it start to settle a little bit, maybe trade sideways for a week or two, I really do plan on increasing this position. Maybe, who knows, about 100 shares, 115 shares, just to be able to see whatever happens into the future, because I do believe that Halion has a lot of potential and that they will be successful once they start to get a grip on this whole entire situation. Last but not least, we have the newest holding in my portfolio. This is a company I talked about yesterday 2 times and a day before yesterday, I do believe, and that is going to be Bio-Nanogenomics, or Bingo. Now, with Bingo, this is an actually really funny story. I was going to invest more into Bio-Nanogenomics, but the thing about it is I have not invested into penny stocks in a very long time. I got a little bit like, I got a little bit nervous simply for the fact that I'm very, very anxious whenever it comes to investments. I have a very strict criteria that I invest by, and penny stocks do not match that criteria, but I did see the potential in this company. I was like, you know what? Let's just put $25 into it. Let's just see what happens. I really do like this company, and I think their technology could be very disruptive and that they can do some fantastic things. So with that being said, I put $25 into them, and if I do scroll down, that means I bought 8.8 shares at an average cost of $2.82. My portfolio diversity, of course, is 0.1%, but my return on this investment is 42%, or $10.52. Now, the reason that is pretty awesome is the fact that if I go down here, you can see I bought these $25 worth on December 31st, which was just yesterday, and so we did see a very, very big growth and of only 42% over the day. This is a company I'm just going to hold on to this one. I'm just going to ride it out. I might take my profit at some point, but honestly, I just feel like this is an awesome company, and I just want to have some money invested in them. I plan on growing this one out. This thing, I do believe, is going to take a little bit of a dip soon. I think that the growth has been fantastic, but realistically, these penny stocks do slow down a little bit. So whenever it does slow down a bit, I may pick up a few more shares. I'll keep you guys updated on what I decide to do with that. But until now, I'm just going to sit on my $25 worth and just watch it grow. With that being said, that will be the end of today's video whenever it comes to my investment portfolio. Of course, this is, again, a portfolio that I have been working on for about 8 or 9 months now. I do plan on growing this thing out for 10, 20, 30 years. This is just the beginning. This is my first year of investing. So I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still growing with you guys. You give me advice. You give me tips, criticism. All those things, they really help me out substantially, not only as a YouTuber, but as an investor, not only as an investor, but as a person in general. So I do appreciate each and every one of you who takes the time out of your day to write comments, to come say hello, and all of those things, they really do mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you did stick around to the end. If you did, I really do appreciate it. If you do like this video, if it was entertaining, if you found value in it, if you learned anything from it, let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing if you are new to the channel again. But with that being said, I will be seeing you guys very, very soon. Peace.